So I came to the conclusion just a few days ago, the purpose of life is to realize the three treasures. And the three treasures is peace and calm, not killing each other and being so stupid for thousands of years. Why do we do this? Because we grew up with the conditions of greed, hatred, delusion. And Zazen dissolves that so you can be yourself. It's as simple as that, but it's work because you have to turn around what you're conditioned to. So the purpose of life is to realize the three treasures. That's your purpose. Have you ever thought about what your purpose of life is? This is it. Can you believe it? It's true. You don't have to look any further than that, but it takes a lot of training and resolve because our lives are not that long. So I'm bringing you this Zen Kaisho, the essence of the Zen precepts. And I gave a talk about this probably 10 years ago, Zen Kaisho, but basically I looked at the talk, I didn't really talk about the precepts or the three treasures, but I gave some kind of a foundation to where you are. What you've entered the Sonoma Mountain Mandala, you've entered the meditation hall, where you are, nowhere else. And I described the fog that in the Tibetan tradition, it covers the mountain to protect it from just Saturday, and for you being here, and the weather. But I didn't say much about the three treasures. And the three treasures are your most intimate nature. And it describes the perfection, the profundity. It's like Dzogchen, the complete perfection. Because you have to realize it. It's not about philosophy. You have to work on it. So this book is written by Wanjin Dotan, and he was the grandson of Menzan. And there was I forget the dates, but there was a downfall of the Dharma at that time. And just like now, there's a downfall, not just the Dharma, but the entire world is in this downfall. But nothing is permanent. And why it's in a downfall? It's not because of COVID. It's because of the lack of the authenticity of training and sitting. That's the downfall. The lack of the imparting the Dharma or the teaching to the next generation. Some of us are not the next generation. That some of us are the next generation. And this is the most wonderful thing you could do for yourself and for humanity. There's no other way. So when and Banjin, he came out of his cave and went to a temple in the near village where the Roshi handed him the Indra net. And the Indra's net is a canopy hung over us in the sky. And it's a net in each eye. There's a jewel. And that jewel reflects the other jewel, which reflects the myriad of jewels and how they're all connected. which we are, basically. And he Banjin read it maybe over 100 times, and he got some glimpse of what it meant. And so he came out and he wrote this book to be destroyed within 10 years, and to rewrite this book of the three treasures and the precepts. Someone had to carve the kanji in reverse, and then he said they should be destroyed in 15 years. But somehow we were fortunate enough to get the copy. Someone must have snuck it out, but he was afraid of going to artificial intelligence. You know what I mean? That's why he did, but somehow we have a copy. So all these teachings, they just didn't begin in libraries, but great hardship brought the Dharma to the West. Suicide, annihilation, starvation. That's how the Dharma came here. It wasn't just found in libraries, but even from the libraries, where did it come from? Where did the source of all these books come from? Hardship, in their compassion to give it to us so we can live a happy life. Basically, all the sutras and the teachings in the Dharma is about, to gladden our heart and to resolve our suffering. That's basically the whole thing. I mean, isn't that something? I mean, sutras are complicated to read, but the only way you can understand it is through sitting, where the thinking mind begins to stop. And I'm not saying that thinking mind is a bad thing. It's good to think, but think straight is different than thinking crooked. So Buddha and the founder of Tendai, Chi, stress the breathing from the lower amplitude, Nikon. That's very important. And when you begin to breathe that way, when you begin to learn how to breathe that way, it leads to cessation. And what does cessation lead to? Liberation. Because you're thinking one thought, 1 hour, 2 thoughts is thinking, 1 thought is not. So that dissolves your greed, anger, and ignorance. I think in this time, we're, as Hojo-san mentioned, we're in a new era. Things, I mean, how bad can things get? They say in Sudan now, from the satellite, they can see the blood on the streets. It's that bad. Well, how bad does it have to get that it forces us to do something with ourselves, not with our habit, but our true selves, okay? So here we go. These are the 3 refuges, and it's the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And it's a great honor for me to really find out what the real meaning of the 3 treasures are. And these 3 treasures are the most precious things you could ever have. Because if we don't own it, we have it. We already have it. We are yet to realize what we have. The 3 treasures. Someone told me Silicon Valley, they make AI chips, and they make trillions of dollars. But that will not, that money or jewel will never satisfy. They can never satisfy you. They are objects. They cannot satisfy. your inner happiness. No, nothing can. And so here are the three, these are really the three jewels, the three treasures. One is the Buddha, okay? I'm reading Banjin's thing to you. I don't know, we have a short time, but I'll try to convey this. And refuge is, it says here, in taking the precepts, it's something you already, I used to translate precept as something pre is before, cept is to receive, something you have already. That's the whole point. You have it already. But since you were born, you were trained not to have it. When you were born, you have to, your nourishment is coming from the outside now. Conditions like education, tradition, culture, and our ignorance and karma continue that reality is out there. And that's why all this grasping, attachment, desire, and things to get is out there, not here. Okay? So, and I changed some of the words. I'm beginning to understand this now that I can actually change the words. And I hope it means the same thing. Okay? Okay. To take refuge. Refuge is, it could be home. It could be a harbor. Someplace you know that you're safe. Refuge. And this refuge is the Buddha, this historical Buddha, and also the Buddha within yourself. The Dharma, the teaching, and the Sangha, the people who practice it. The triple treasures has three kinds of merit and virtue. And these words, merit and virtue, people don't even understand them. You don't see, I don't think I see these words even spoken anymore. But because you are training or practicing the Buddha Dharma, there is a merit, goodness promotes goodness. And virtue, we have this nature of virtue, innate nature of goodness, that when you drive down Sonoma Mountain Road, you say, please help us. The word help is extra. We should already do goodness. We are goodness. When we see something, some shoe on the street, we pick it up. Goodness, virtue, is innate in ourselves. And these three, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, is called the one body, three treasures. And it's also called the manifested triple treasure and the abiding and maintaining triple treasure. These are divided into three areas. The first area is Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. This is Buddha's enlightenment. Anuttara means highest, supreme. Anu, Ani, in Sanskrit means the highest, supreme. Anuttara Samyak means complete. Again, Sambodhi means complete Buddhist realization, which is different than many schools of realization. So this is called the Buddha treasure. Your realization is called the Buddha's treasure. Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Its purity and freedom from dust is the Dharma treasure. And freedom from dust is because our relationship, our delusion. If we don't have delusion, we can't become enlightened. If we don't have dust, we can't become pure. So isn't that something? We want to get away from the dust, but in the dust, exactly what you're doing every day, in our everyday life, is the realization. It's because you are not where you are. It's as simple as that. Where you are with your cell phone, looking, doing, getting, going somewhere, but not here. Anuttara Samyak Sambho. This is the Buddha treasure. This is your treasure. Its purity and freedom from dust is the Dharma treasure. The teaching. The teaching, they also call it the law. It's the way that human beings live, really. The virtue of peace and harmony is the Sangha treasure. That's the people who practice or train it is the Sangha treasure. That's what a Sangha means, to have peace and harmony. And all these are called the one-bodied three treasure, Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. So our whole practice is based on this one thing. The second one is manifesting and verifying your awakening. That's interesting, huh? It doesn't just, you can't just say it, but you have to prove it. You have to manifest it, and someone has to verify it. It's not just teaching, it's realization, it's awakening. Manifesting, the verification of Bodhi, which means awakening, is called the Buddha treasure. That which is verified, again, is the Dharma treasure. And then there are those who are practicing or training in the Buddha and Dharma. This is called the Sangha treasure. These are called the manifested triple treasures. So you have the realization, now you have the manifestation of just that. And the third one is the Bodhisattva's joy or delight in sharing his or her knowledge, wisdom and insight, compassion with humanity. I had done before Bodhisattva work, but it's not work, it's joy, it's delight, it's sharing, it's love, okay? And they had, I changed the word converting. Buddhism doesn't convert. I changed it to, what did I change it to? It's, one of the marks of a Buddha is non-doing. And what does non-doing mean? Non-doing is you're living without greed, anger, and ignorance. That's non-doing. That's sacred. It's interesting. I'm beginning to put our common words together with the sacred. Yeah. That becomes sacred, and that's moving. That's life. That's real life. That's real living. You are where you are. So I didn't use the word converting. I said non-doing. You see the pictures of Dalai Lama or pictures of Bodhisattvas, their shoulders are round. They're not broad, because when they're broad, you are doing everything. You're non-doing. It's really a wonderful word because we're taught doing. This is non-doing. This is just the opposite. And in that way, you're free from yourself. And it's not maintaining precepts, because there's nothing to maintain. That nothingness is the true marks, which means ultimate reality. True marks means ultimate reality, and ultimate reality means nothing to possess. It's suchness. It's the opposite. It's the opposite word of emptiness. It's suchness. It's something. Emptiness is nothing, but they mean the same thing. It's the absence of nothing to hold on to. Because when there's nothing to hold on to, you hold everything. It's the opposite of what we're taught. Is there people following me? Yeah, okay. Okay, so I don't use the word converting because there's no conversion in the Dharma. But it says here, converting celestial beings. I like that because you have to put something in there that's not just straight. This is a crooked. And the crookedness contains everything. The straightness leaves out everything. So converting celestial beings. I think that's great. We don't have that in our writing anymore. And converting human beings. Appearing in the vast openness of beings. Yeah, not converting, but transmission or imparting to celestial beings as well as human beings, appearing in vast openness of beingness, or appearing within dust is the Buddha treasure. It appears in dust. The process of being transformed into the ocean storehouse. This is big. It includes everything. Or being transformed into the sutras. The sutras, all the writings bring you happiness, joy, gladdens your heart, and resolves your suffering. The sutras, the teachings, and thus converting or changing animate and inanimate beings. It's dualistic, alive and not alive. Trees, inanimate beings, is the Dharma treasure. Relieving all suffering and being free from the house of the three worlds is the Sangha treasure. These are called abiding and maintaining the triple treasures. The three worlds, what is the three? Oh, the three worlds is the world of desire and thinking, the world of form, and the world of formlessness. This is what different schools do not include, but these exact three worlds is the dust of the world. And this is where our relationship, and not our relationship, but our realization is discovered and found within the three worlds. The world we live in, our everyday world. And this is called abiding, dwelling, and maintaining the triple treasures. Okay, so that's just a half an hour. I'll read you Kyogo's interpretation. And he was a Zen master under Dogen. Dogen's successor was Eijo. And after Eijo, well, including Dogen, Sene was another successor of Dogen. And Kyogo was Sene's successor, and it said that Dogen gave Sene Fuyo Dokai's okesa, his robe. So that's the kind of transmission symbol when these sacred objects or ritual items are passed on. Does that sound interesting? It was interesting to me because I didn't know that. But I hope it has the meaning for you to know. What word, when you attach the words, that's not it. The words is like a finger pointing to the moon. The moon is not the finger. The words have the meaning. Do not have the meaning. They're the trap or the hook that hooks you in to the meaning. But do not attach to the words. Do not attach to my words. Okay, so this is Kyogo's interpretation. The atonement procedure appears, and that's going to be in this ceremony this afternoon, where people are actually taking precepts. And then in the three refuges and the three culminative precepts, there is nothing which is not included. Also, it says that starting with the atonement procedures, these three refuges and the three culminative pure precepts are not separate from delusion. Emancipation is attained in the midst of delusion. Or one may say that before the deluded aspects have departed, the true aspects have arrived. I read this again. Emancipation or liberation is attained in the midst of delusion. One may say that before the deluded aspects have departed from ourselves, the true aspects have arrived. This is the meaning of the Zen meaning, before the donkey leaves, the horse has arrived. You understand? It means you have it already. Before the donkey leaves, the horses, you have the horse is here. And if it wasn't so, we couldn't realize ourselves if it wasn't here. It's not out there. It's as simple as that. It's not out there. I mean, how could you realize it if it wasn't here before? How could you know what beauty is like if it wasn't here before? If you could see, oh, that's beautiful. It's here, not out there. It's here first, then out there. But it's completely different. I struggled with that for a long time. I had to ask the Korean teacher, what does that mean? Before the donkey leaves, the horse has arrived. But you guys got the impression pretty early. But yet, you still have to realize it. That's the whole point, to make it true. This is the meaning, oh, wait a minute, whole ocean of karmic hindrance. Whole ocean of karmic hindrance. This is our habit energy. And I explained this before. Habit energy drives humanity because of our ignorance. I mean, we're still killing each other. We're not civilized. We've never learned the lesson. Why is that? And so I gave this explanation before. Habit energy. Okay, so at the end of my bed, there's a garbage can, and I throw papers in there when I'm studying and reading. It's my favorite time in the morning. What happens that I miss, and I've been doing that for years. This is habit energy. You think about your own life and our own stupidity. You've done the same thing. Okay, but I keep missing. But I never, that's habit energy. And just a few weeks ago, I got the idea, hey, I'm gonna put the garbage can right next to my bed. And then I threw the paper and I still missed it. That's habit energy, okay? All right, that's karma. Yeah, that's why they said the ocean of karmic influence. It's huge. It's everywhere. Ocean. So this ocean of karmic hindrances may give the impression that we should throw them away, since they are not the three worlds. Oh, since they are the three worlds, which create suffering. And sitting upright, contemplating true marks, may seem what we were supposed to do. Sitting upright and contemplating true marks. Just because we do that doesn't mean that we're true people yet. Well, that's goodness. We have to know what we're doing and how the repetition. We have to awaken from our delusion of sitting upright. That's not going to do it. And because it sounds good, it sounds like the true mark, but the true marks, basically, it means ultimate reality, which is suchness with nothing to possess. That's great. You have everything, but you don't have to possess it. Because there's nothing to possess. And when you have nothing to possess, you have everything. The dharma is the great perfection. Yeah, so precepts, the precepts are based on these three jewels, and these are the most valuable things in the entire history of humanity. These three things, to realize what they are. In fact, they're ever so close. This is the purpose of our life, the three treasures. And there still is the precept itself, and also the three, I'll call them the pure precepts to study. So maybe some other time I can talk about that. Okay? So I expect some questions here. Huh? Any questions? Or you all understand everything, huh?
I kind of got a cold sweat when you said like sitting year after year, even though it's so cold that good sitting, that's not gonna do it. So since my habit is grasping after things, then I'm thinking, okay, I wonder what's gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been around for a long time. I started 1960, and I've seen people sit 20 years. No, like robots, you know? How can we short-live that? Well, they don't have, they have to have a good teacher to spur them. That's why teachers hit, use the stick, you know? Maybe we start using the stick going around. Well, we stopped using the stick because people took their aggression out on people. See what Zen's doing in life? And then it's, but maybe we should bring it back. People are dozing off. They're not there anymore. You know? So.
But then Uchiyama said that, you know, the stick is a toy.
Pardon me?
Uchiyama said that the stick is a toy.
The stick is a toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a toy. Yeah, it was a toy. But if you use it, I mean, the stick is, that's why he doesn't use a stick. But Uchiyama's schedule in sitting is nothing else but sitting. I think 50 minutes, 10 minutes, the whole day. You don't need a stick. That's the stick. Our schedule isn't that way. No. In fact, you know, and we're Americans, so we have to know how to adjust that. Because actually, also, when you get old, we can't do that anymore. So there should be a way that old people like me can still sit. And especially when you get old, you need to sit because you're going to die. I mean, basically, that's a guarantee. We need to sit.
Go ahead.
Great, yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, good to see you.
You said Sangha, and I don't know if I captured it right. You said Sangha, let's read your notes, the Sangha was living in peace and harmony.
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
yeah. That's what I read. And that's the essence of a sangha is peace and harmony.
Yeah, that was very profound. Thank you.
Yeah.
You see it that way. I see the world we live in. I see what we grasp for. Yeah. Can you say any more about that, the Sangha, because the world is operating this way?
More about the sangha.
Sangha, yeah.
Yeah, the sangha. It's interesting. Buddha's Four Noble Truths is noble. The words Arya, and when I read that, I thought that was a great philosophy to say, but I had no idea what noble meant. Noble meant is only for those who realize it. Then it's true. That makes sense, right? If you don't realize it, it's not true. So for most of humanity, for all of humanity, the Four Noble Truths is not true. This is the most important work you do in your lifetime.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have going on in my mind the ocean of karmic hindrance.
Yeah.
What is that exactly? I'm trying to understand that.
The karmic hindrance, the ocean of karmic hindrance. Is the opposite of peace and harmony. You know? Because our meditation is basically where you are. If you can just do that, that's something. But no one is where they are. And meditation is to unify the scattered mind. The scattered mind creates the ocean of karma, ocean of unhappiness.
You don't want to be in an ocean of karma.
Well,
Do you?
we're trying to, the cessation of the ocean of karma. Yeah.
Is there anything that is not Sangha?
It's not the Sangha?
Is there anything that is not
Yes,
Sangha?
you are.
I'll go
So the precepts, it's not about, I thought, actually, I avoided it when I began studying Zen, because it's about bad and good. It's like the commandments, but it's not, we are not trapped by no and yes. See, that's the whole thing. This duality is the whole thing of suffering. The whole world suffering, yes and no. But it's not the yes that we say yes to, it's not the no. It's not, we're not caught by the duality. It is and it isn't. I mean, it is this table and it isn't this table. That's begin to transcend the yes and no. Because everything is a duality. Everything is separated from us. We created it. We're living in it. We die in it. But that's not the reality.
Question.
Rose? Yes, your name?
I go by Luna. Luna.
Okay.
So the way that I have to work in the world is we always have these goals. Like we're going to accomplish something. That's how I've been in my life. And so that's my world. And then when I come to meditation, I'm very impatient. I want to achieve something. So I have a problem because it's hard for me to sit and be accepting of the moment.
You could sit in a chair. You don't have to sit cross-legged. and it's important. Do you live nearby?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
Where?
Sebastopol.
Very close. But it's important to sit with people.
Yes.
And when you sit by yourself, like on Zoom, we're all separate from each other. But you're sitting with the Zoom people. We should look around and see who we're sitting with or who we're sitting next to. Actually, everybody's a Buddha. When you look this way, and you look that way. This is what it says. And this is the reality. Because if they're not, we begin discriminating. Very simple. So I have to remind myself that. Well, you can come talk to me sometime, okay? Yeah, I'll be happy to talk with you. Yes.
I liked what you said about you need for there to be dust before you get to enlightenment. The dust has to be present. I guess. How do we? I guess not try to create that dust, because it's not, we're not intentionally trying to create the dust, right?
Yeah.
So I guess as we continue to practice, as we get older, should we try to minimize that, or should we just observe it?
Yeah, because it's not beneficial.
Mhm.
It's as simple as that. But we can, our habit energy continues it. We become preoccupied with it. So we have to have some kind of training to reverse it. Yeah. it's not beneficial.
Roshi,
Look, just 1 minute, I was trying to think of something. Yeah, I think it's not beneficial. Yeah, I forgot. Craig?
I wanted to ask about the dust of our lives and bringing it towards Zazen. Leaving it in our Zazen. Can you hear me?
No, you have to talk louder, yeah.
Okay. I wanted to ask about the dust of our lives and how that works with our Zazen. Do we, bring the dust of our lives, our mistakes, our striving, or our mistakes to our sitting?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what happens. And sometimes we become just preoccupied with that. But to reverse it by breathing, the technique of breathing below the navel reverses it. And it takes training and perfection. The cessation of thinking. That we're taught not to lose. We're taught to keep thinking. And as long as you keep thinking or keep on breathing in, you'll live. But it's not true. Joe? Any question? Huh?
No, I'm just trying to understand it all.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think about it.
Just a piece of a few sentences. All of us a lot, but just a few sentences to understand is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roshi, it's Bob from Salt Lake City.
Bob?
Hi, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
What's for me to understand when that table is a table and when that table isn't a table?
What school?
What am I to understand or appreciate when you say that table is a table and that table isn't a table?
Yeah, that's us. That's how we see things. It of course it's a table, but at the same time it's not just a table. Once you name it, you separate your existence with the table. The table, this is a table and this is me. But actually you and the table are the same. And then it's a table and this is me. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Form is form, I am I. That's it. You know? Understood?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Roshi, you mentioned earlier that insight can come from delusion and from sitting. And the impression I get is that the delusion is there, it's part of you, it's part of us. But you don't want to kind of accentuate that. So you're not really striving or grasping for insight, but you're not holding on to delusion at the same time. Those sound kind of like the same thing. And that grasping for insight is delusion itself.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I always thought is that when we go to sleep, we always wake up, unless we're dead. But this is innate. If you can wake up from a dream, you can wake up from a delusion.
Mhm.
If we couldn't do that, we wouldn't be human anymore. We would really be gone. But isn't that something? It's innate. You can wake up. You can always wake up. Hey, it's time for lunch. Okay?